second? I guess the second one. I know what. Okay, ready? Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, my name's Fred McNeil, and thank you for watching QAC TV 7. Every Monday we film a show called Thank You for Serving. We bring different veterans that come in and talk about their experiences, or we talk about events that might affect veterans or interesting things about veterans. Today we're going to talk about this gentleman looking over my shoulder. He represents 400 to 600 locals, and we'll tell you about it a little bit later. Marcia, why don't you, first of all, thank you for coming, okay? Why don't you introduce yourself?
All right, my name is Marcia Landskroener.
And where you live, Marcia?
I live in northern Queen Anne's County.
Okay, northern Queen Anne's. Tilghman?
Tilghman Hemsley. I live on White Island.
Oh, White Island. Mm-hmm. Oh, you are upscale, all right? A good man, okay. Marcia, where'd you grow up? What you do? Give us a little history.
Well, I grew up in Rock Hall.
Rock Hall,
yeah.
My favorite place.
Yes.
You know the coffee shop, the new coffee shop?
Java Rock?
Yes.
It's not that new.
Oh, it's not that, but how did that get into Rock Hall? It's a New York City place.
Actually, someone moved
From New York?
from
where?
out of town.
Yes, okay.
Rock Hall's really become more of a sailor's destination than a fishing village, which is what I remember.
And my only other place I know, you know Baycraft Printing?
Yes.
Yes, Jeff.
Jeff,
my man.
Dustin. Yeah.
Well, he's carried me for 40 years. I haven't paid any bills till me, but he'd print stuff for me. Okay, so Rock Hall.
So I went to Kent County High School, went through public school.
Okay. Who'd you have for biology there?
Oh my gosh.
I'm testing you because I used to coach
that
with a guy.
would be Mrs.
Oh, no, okay.
Oh, shoot.
Don't worry. Okay, so you went to Kent County High School. Go ahead.
And then I went to what is now McDaniel College. It was Western Maryland College at the time. A school very much like
Let me take you back to high school, though. Sports, theater, a nerd like me, or what'd you do?
I was in the band.
Oh,
I was
band.
kind of a nerd.
What'd you play?
I played saxophone, alto sax.
You're kidding me.
Yes, so there's a funny story. My dad, I was carrying my saxophone, this was in Rock Hall Middle School, and a big book bag, like we did back in the day. Okay. And I was trudging home because apparently I missed the bus. My dad drove right by me.
Made you walk. Okay, tough. So Rock Hall, McDaniel, and what would you major in?
I majored in communications.
Okay. Now, playing the saxophone in the McDaniel marching band? Or?
No, I gave up the sax when I moved to college.
You got serious at college.
Yeah, I got serious.
Now, coming out of college, go ahead.
I was part of the literary community there.
All right, okay. So you were a writer. Now, when you got out of college, what'd you do?
I worked briefly for the Queen Anne's County Record Observer.
Oh, really? Okay. Who? Danny Tabler and that crowd? Yeah, okay.
Howard Friedlander.
Okay. How about Sergio? Remember the name Sergio? Was the editor for? That's okay.
There's another funny story. I won't tell that
No,
story.
tell it. Go ahead. The funny stories are the thing.
So when I was working for the Record Observer, I always had to go follow the fire sirens.
You the ambulance chaser.
I was the ambulance chaser. So the siren went off one night. I was like, oh my God, I don't feel like going out. I'm not going.
You stayed
Turned
under
out
cover.
to be the biggest fire in Queen Anne's County. Delmarva Sash and Door burnt down.
Okay, up in
Barclay.
Barclay, yes.
And because I was trying to make amends, I did all my follow-up stories on the rebirth of Delmarva Sash and Door.
Okay.
And that's how I met my husband.
As a reporter.
Who worked for the Record
Observer.
Who worked for the millwork.
Oh, for the
company.
millwork. Okay. So how long were you a writer with the Record Observer?
Maybe 2 years.
2 years, and then what?
And then I moved to Springfield, Massachusetts for a while.
Oh, Western Mass. My family's all from Massachusetts. Yeah, go ahead. What were you doing out there? That you can talk about. I mean,
it was sort of a respite from I tried to get a job with the paper there, but I ended up working for a law firm.
Okay.
And
so got out of the writing business for a while.
For a little while. And then when my grandmother got ill, I moved home.
Home back here?
Back to Chestertown.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what did you do when you got back there?
I worked for another lawyer for a couple of years. And then I started working for Washington College in their communications.
Okay. So you kind of got back into your field.
Got back into the field, yeah.
And how did you hook up with this character?
Well, this is an interesting story. It goes back to Washington College again because when I retired from Washington College after 30-some years,
Oh, you retired from Washington College?
yes,
Okay.
I'd been editor of the college magazine. I had done all of the communications for the president's office, admissions office, advancement office. So I had all this background as a writer. And when I left there, I was sort of at loose ends. I didn't know quite what to do with myself. And I was scrolling across social media. And I found a post by my dear cousin from Rock Hall, Robin Wood, who's since passed, about this boat, called the Breezing Through. It was a
Oh,
picture.
Queen Anne's Robin Wood that I would know? No.
Rock Hall Robin Wood.
Oh, Rock, okay.
Karowski. She married Captain Karowski. So her post said that this boat had been built in 1949 by her great uncle Bubsy Stevens in 1949, and it had only had 2 captains, and it was still working fishing charters. And I said, Robin, your Uncle Bubsy, that's my great-grandfather Bubsy.
Oh, really?
So I had never heard about the boat before. I thought that it would make a great story, so I tracked down Captain Tilghman, and we had an interview, and as I say, I was retired, and I had been, confined to the office for the past 30 years, and essentially he offered me a job as a mate on the boat.
Really?
So
That was a whole different career, wasn't it?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it was very healing for me to do that.
Get out of an office, get out with fresh air, and have a good time.
And I felt like I was coming full circle to work on the boat that my great-grandfather built.
Pretty good.
Pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
So as I got to know Captain Tilghman, became apparent that I had some skills that could be helpful to him with his artwork.
Oh, great.
So I learned how to run his big press, make prints, sort of organize photo shoots, and I don't know.
You did a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
Right.
So just working as an assistant to him.
It's just different, something different.
So, yeah.
Okay, good for you. Tillman, let me jump to you. Okay. How about your story?
Oh, I'm
With a
Tilghman.
name like Tillman, come on, you're Eastern Shore. You got to
Yeah,
be.
it is. Our family's been here before it was a country. But like everybody in America, you move away, move back. So we were here till about the last 100 years. And then my great-grandfather moved to Baltimore. And then my father had been educated in different colleges, went to the Korea War as in the Corps of Engineers. And then he moved the family to Chambersburg, Pennsylvania, where I was born. I was the last one of all the family. And
How many
then
in the family?
4.
Oh, 4.
Four,
Okay.
yeah, all sisters. And but he kept his boat, down to Seward's Marina in the Kent Narrows, and near Medford Thomas's, some of the old timers' place. So we had our hands in both places. And then when I got out of high school, I went to college, obviously. But
Where'd you go?
I went to a college in New York City called Pratt Institute, which was supposed to be like the 3rd best college in the country. And I was in there in Brooklyn, New York for a year. And New York City was pretty run down at that time.
That's a
It was
tough
sort
part,
of like the transition like Baltimore's going through right now. So I was able to get a lot of education there, but I couldn't get outside to paint because it was just too dangerous.
It's a tough city.
So I moved back to Maryland. It was sort of a funny story because during the election of the president, I
What
voted
year? Give me the year.
1980.
Oh, 80,
It was the
okay.
same year John Lennon was killed in New York.
And
I
you
was
were in
there.
New York.
I was there, and when he was killed. But then I transferred to the Maryland Institute, which the Baltimore City was a lot more conducive to being able to get out.
Yeah.
Now, in the meantime, I was working on fishing boats too in the summer, so I just retained both of those businesses, the art business and the fishing business.
Let me just go back. What, the DNA gave you the art impulse, or just something? What did you?
I think
how'd you get involved in
everybody has an artistic side to them. It's just how much you're able to explore it.
that? Now, was this happening in high school? Were you,
Yes,
oh,
all through when I was in grade
You
school.
knew
even.
you wanted to be an artist.
Well, I also think that it has to do with how you're made up. Like, I'm not very literal.
Okay.
Is that the right word? Literal?
That's a good word.
But I can see things visually better. So it's
I'm
like if
I'm a
you're
visual learner.
if you're-
I have to do that, yes.
if you're deaf, you're more sensitive to your hearing, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I would say I was, and I might have even been, what's the word where your sentences get reversed?
Dyslexic.
I might even have some dyslexicness in it, which even promoted the visual part more. So, some of those things are what
Was it,
drives
I mean,
people
I'm
into
trying to,
art.
was it always sculpture? I mean,
Oh, no. It was,
you did everything.
It was mostly painting at the
painting,
time. The sculpture came in later. But, yeah, so I was a painting major, fine art major in college and graduated.
abstract paintings?
No, most
people
of it
paintings
was
or what?
from life. So I
right,
would do
okay.
portraits. And I always did it as a living, too. So when I was in college, I was getting jobs like courtroom drawing.
Like you mentioned,
I always did something to make money in the business.
To the art field, yeah.
Through the art field. I mean, somebody wanted something painted on a lampshade.
You could
I
do
did
it.
it.
You would do it.
I took any job I
Buy
could.
dinner and breakfast, right?
Yeah, and I did all that. So when I got out, I pretty much had a handle on art business.
Okay.
And then also the fishing. Worked on fishing boats.
So you're doing both. You're on the water.
Doing
and you're
both,
in the art
yes.
studio. Is that
Yes.
right?
And then sometimes fishing would be more busy, art would be less busy, art would be more busy, fishing would be less busy. We went through a 5-year ban on the Chesapeake Bay, and I lived through
You
that.
had to go to the art world, yeah.
Somewhat. I mean, we still ran trips, but they sort of dwindled down.
So how did you two together on the water and in the art world? Did I hear correctly?
Correct.
Okay, so that's a great combination.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's shift gears a little bit. Okay,
Okay.
let's go to 2025 here. We mentioned over my shoulder. Now, either three of us can do it or we can take turns. You want to talk a little bit about, either you two or myself, what happened during the Civil War that we feel as a group, and we know, as you are, and you're part of it now, the Centerville Veterans Information Center, we meet every Monday. A nice crowd today, I thought. I don't know if you saw that. 30 to 50 people show up, guest speakers, etc. Well, we had a speaker speak to us who said, look it, and it was no one knew about this. 400 to 600. You want to continue with the story? But who this is, what this represents, why we're even talking about statues and stuff.
So there's a gentleman, local historian by the name of Chris Pupke, who's done quite a bit of research about the United States colored troops throughout Maryland. He has identified 435 soldiers who fought for the Union during the Civil War.
From Queen Anne's County.
From Queen Anne's County alone. Some of the surrounding counties had more. I think Talbot had 600. Queen Anne, because of the size and the economy of Queen Anne's County, we had quite a few agricultural workers that were on these plantations.
And these were, let me interrupt, these were slaves as well as freemen. Am I correct? Yes.
Right. So the point of their joining up to fight for the Union was twofold, I think. One was to fight for their own personal freedom. For those men who saw no future beyond the institution of slavery, this was an open door. It also gave them a chance to prove themselves, I think, that they were up to the task just as much as white soldiers to fight for their country.
It was quite well known by the experts that African Americans were not good fighters, right? I mean, that went on to World War I and World War II, right? We can go to World War I where our African American troops went overseas. They were only allowed to unload stuff.
Right.
It wasn't until the French, they didn't even give them guns. They were not, our troops were not allowed to have guns. It wasn't until the French said, you're crazy. Give them a gun, and they're some of the most decorated soldiers. This was in World War I. We're talking Civil War, where either African Americans were either enslaved, right, or just considered as inferior individuals, which we know.
And the adversity that they overcame in order to fight is pretty remarkable in its own right.
Let me go back. These individuals who went, I understand correctly, they left from Queenstown. That was one of the departure points from Queenstown, right down the road here. So we're talking about individuals who Lincoln, and as you know, you helped us do it. We have a plaque now in front of the Kennard Cultural Center in Centerville. Said, without the colored troops, we would not have won the Civil War. This is the President of the United States saying this. So these young men were proving themselves, hey, not only can we fight, not only we are brave, but by golly, you know, we're as good as anybody else.
So when you think about our history, not only our local history, but our national history, to think about the role that these soldiers played is pretty remarkable, and it's a story that has not yet been told.
No, and
so the veterans approached Tilghman and said, we want to recognize fellow veterans whose military service has been overlooked. Can you build a bronze sculpture that honors their service and sacrifice?
Well, the little history of the group, when Chris spoke to our group, we were at Dunkin' Donuts until they threw us out because we had too many people. And then we went to the YMCA, which they also threw us. We had too many people. But Chris spoke before the group at that time, about 30 of us. The group was shocked. No one in the group, unless they had heard Chris at other venues, knew anything about the story. And immediately the group, 30 people, John Wright, I remember this day, raised his hand. Guys, the question was asked, well, what do we want to do? We've got this information. John Wright, who's the head of your committee now, which when we get more involved in the statute, said, we as a group have to do something. And the first thing we did, as I mentioned, in front of the Kennard Cultural Center in Centerville, there is now a plaque with Lincoln's quote, thanking his individuals who go over. That was step one. Now, and we're about to talk about, we're going to go to step two. Not only do we want the plaque, but we want something bigger and better. And thanks to, it just started with Chris, probably to his credit, informing local people about their local history they knew nothing about.
The African American communities doesn't know about it.
They don't know about it. Nobody knows about it.
There may be 3 or 4 stones in Chesterfield Cemetery that recognize USCT affiliation, but it's not well known at all.
No, it's not. I think if there's 50,000 people in this community, I bet less than 5,000 know about it, unless Chris has spoken about it. And thanks to your fine efforts now, what we're doing as a group, getting the word out there. All right, so let's go back. So we've decided after being the veterans group, after being told by Chris, hey, this happened, 400 to 600, the number that he's still working the numbers out. So what are we going to do? Plaque, home run, no problem. It's up, money was raised, and we need to thank the county commissioners.
Yes.
They paid for the whole thing.
Yes.
They paid for the installation of the plaque. They paid for this beautiful brick base it's on, and we really appreciate that. Now we've done that, and Jim Barnett, a part of our group, said, well, let's just keep going. Jim became sick. John Wright took over. You have this wonderful committee set up. So we're at the point now, okay, we want to do what? What is this behind me? Is this what we're talking about, or is it going to be?
Well, this is, I think I'll let Tilghman describe the statue itself, but this is depicting an African-American Civil War soldier, fully dressed in Union uniform. What I love about this is the way the feet are depicted, so that there's no shoes on this soldier.
They didn't have shoes.
They didn't have shoes. And particularly if there were shoes to be had, you know who was wearing them. It wasn't the black soldiers.
No.
Also, this touches me emotionally because his stance is so resolute. Like, he knows that he's accomplished something that no one expected him to be able to accomplish. And the empathy that he shows for his fallen comrade is pretty remarkable too. You'll see that his hand is extended with a canteen, offering his comrade water.
Well, so let's talk. Okay, we know a little bit about the history. 400 to 600 troops. Bingo. Got a plaque. We want a statue. Describe the plaque in terms of how big will it be, where will it be, et cetera, and talk a little bit as an artist, your creation.
Okay, so the whole piece will stand about approximately 9 feet. It might be a little larger with the gun barrel, but 9 foot to the top of the soldier. He'll be about a 6.5 foot figure on a 2.5 foot
So
base.
it's life size, life size.
Life size. And on the base, we need to have enough room to put at least 430
So we're
names,
actually,
which
what
is a
Chris
lot
has
of.
researched, we're actually going to get
We're
their
going to put the names on
They'll
there.
go right around here, and there's
Well, not
Oh,
on
you
the
tell me
front,
why.
but on the sides.
sides,
The
okay.
front will be for the title and an inscription on the piece.
Now, I know we've been working closely with the people at the Kennard African American Cultural Center, and we're going to put it there, still to be determined exactly there. Am I correct with that?
Probably right near the museum.
Oh, I know there, but whether it's going to be the front, the side, the back.
Right,
Have we got
correct.
a particular spot yet?
We have a spot in mind.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think the best place would be right towards the entrance.
Well, the committee, you have a committee with John, where you're working that out. So but we do know it's going to the Kennard Center.
At Kennard, right.
We do know it's going to be 6 foot tall with a 3 foot base.
2.5 foot.
2.5
base,
foot base. So we do know on the sides will be the 400 plus names, wherever
Correct.
Chris
With
comes
their
up with.
regiments.
Okay,
So
actually with the
he's actually identified the
Okay.
regiments.
Now, from the let me go back to you to the artist thing. Marcia started on it. The face jumps out to me, like you said you would resolute, whatever you used. I mean, there's a person. I have a goal in mind. As an artist, what did you try to convey in the thing?
Well, because it's a uniform, and there's a lot of other men that have uniforms, the only real tool that you have to depict the African American person is in the feet, the hands, and the face, because they're they're present. So the feet, I mean, they probably most of them had shoes, but I just wanted to leave a place to have expression, to give a certain feeling from it. The face and the hands, I wanted them to express similar to the seal of the eagle that we have in all the different emblems, one holding an olive leaf, one holding the arrow. So he's holding a gun, but he's also offering
The canteen.
Yes, yeah. Okay. So it's sort of to have that depiction. It's a piece that what would we call it? What was the title we had?
Redemption.
Redemption. Like he's redeeming himself. He's redeeming us. And he's coming to the top of a hill where a battle has already been fought. He's overlooking the landscape and seeing his future, essentially.
Okay.
And that's what the depiction is. I hired a model, a great model, to work with, and got all the clothes and whatnot. Worked in many stages, as well as paintings. To come up with this scenario, which we might still tweak when we go to the larger piece. We still might tweak it, but this pretty much has the emotion that I was looking for, to what I felt would be an honest depiction of that era.
Well, for the non-artists like me, the phys ed teachers, all right, how long does it take? I mean, the design part, what I see in front of me, how long did it take to develop that? Was
Probably
that a year,
6 months.
Okay.
6 months when we started it.
Now, when we get the funds, the nitty-gritty, the 6 foot, 2.5 base, how, where, when do we do that? How's it done?
We could, if we got funds for it on a good schedule, we could have it for July 4th of 2026.
That's next
for
year,
the
right?
for the anniversary of the 250th anniversary. That's our goal, and it's doable. It's very doable, but we would have to get the funds in to do that.
Well, but let me go back. Is this done in your studio in Centerville? Where was this actually done? Where's this?
In the studio in
it's actually done
Centerville. Yes.
How? I mean, remember, you talk about a guy, phys ed teacher, how do you do it?
So the original piece I did in a wire. We would do wire underneath.
A mesh type thing.
A mesh, and find out exactly the pose and turn the wire different ways until it struck you, to be, I call it like a verisimilitude, a believability in the piece. And then put the clay on and work
It's
that
is wire on a wood
framing.
frame or anything?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And then to put the clay on, and then you model the clay exactly how you want to do it. And then this would go to a foundry. The foundry would do a mold over that. And then they would.
Where would the foundry be? In country?
Well, the
Out
one
of
that I'm
country?
dealing right now with is in Michigan.
Okay.
But we have a foundry as well. We don't have it up and running, but we could get it up and running in the
Yeah,
next
do you actually
year.
put the clay model and the wire in a truck or something and ship it to Michigan?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Drive it there. Yeah. So, and then you have a bronze cast from the. It goes through a whole process. It's called the lost wax.
And this is all happening at the foundry?
At the foundry.
Okay.
And then it's bronzed. So the next stage is you order a foam enlargement of that. They can do it, with the technology. They can scan that and give you a foam piece
copy of
that same piece, and then you clay that back up. And then that's where you work on the large piece, and that'll be done in Centerville. And then the piece will be shipped again back to the foundry, and then it would be done in bronzed. Yeah, and we'd have to make several trips there to check the waxes just to make sure.
Out there?
I go there. Yeah, I drove.
Oh, Marcia, that's your job.
That's
Okay.
not my job.
It's on the way to Oklahoma City. Come on, you're all right. Now, let me ask again. These are all layman's questions. What is something like this going to weigh? I mean, we're talking 1,000. We're talking a ton, half ton, 1,000 pounds, 2,000 pounds.
I'm not sure.
Just a
I'm just
ballpark,
thinking of the Waterman's Monument. How many tons that was? I think that was. Like 2 tons. So you would probably
4,000
talk
pounds,
about probably maybe 1,500 pounds.
Okay.
I would say for
this
one
is heavy.
figure.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's heavy, sure. 1,500 pounds maybe of bronze. Because the other sculpture's 2 people and it's a boat and the whole 9 yards. I think that was around 2 tons. Yeah, and then the base would be in granite.
Okay.
And it would be inscribed in the granite with a bronze plaque on the front.
Now, would this be done like the plaque in front of, obviously bigger? You do the brick base first, then you put our plaque on top of it. Same thing here. You do a foundation, like a cement foundation.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, a foundation with pavers.
Okay.
So people could walk on it.
Right.
And then we would set the foundation on there, and then set the statue on top of
Now,
that.
how do you? Again, layman's questions. I look at this. I see 2 parts, right? I see this.
Yes.
So, how is this secured to that?
Usually it's pinned. So
Pin meaning.
like it'll have pins in it. So when we go to set it on the foundation, we'll line up
Just
the
line it
pins
up.
and we'll put a resin in that too. So it'll seat up into the granite. Now this is going to be hollow. It's like an Easter bunny.
Yeah,
It's going to be hollow. You used to
It's
get
not chocolate, right? It's not gonna
you
melt.
used to get the solid chocolate bunnies, but now it's like
This is 2025.
Yeah.
We get a.
but yeah, so it's
helps
it'll be
with the
hollow
weight.
inside.
That helps with the weight.
Of course.
Yeah.
Imagine that was solid.
And the expense. Yeah. So it's not a difficult sculpture to do, but I think it's going to be a very lasting piece.
Well, look, I apologize. I told you it'd be the fastest 30 minutes of your life.
Thank
okay?
you very much.
Thank you for coming. My name's Fred McNeil. Thank you for watching QAC TV 7. My time's up. Thank you for your time. But you-